Yeah, she's a succubus.
On the stream. Because that's just a funny conversation. Go on.
We are now live. I can hear us. Cool.
I was just saying that we have some work to do here tonight.
Yeah.
Dealing with succubi and...
Well, not her specifically anymore.
Don't you worry.
Devil.
So you say.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
That's
Internet.
didn't make
future
that deal.
episode problem.
So I'm going to get us started.
Problem for future us.
Okay,
I'm just going to
let's
say,
do this.
hey, Internet. My name's Todd. Hold on. Hi, Internet. My name's Todd. We're going to play some Dungeons & Dragons in particular, and have finally settled on a campaign name. We're on episode 47, so it's about time. Morley Ambiguous's Descent into Avernus. Huh? Makes sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Hey,
Descent
Uncanny
into
Treat. Thanks for
Avernus.
jumping in.
As presented by the Muppets.
Hey-ho. Anyway, so we're going to dive in.
Aw,
We're going
I
to do a
miss
quick...
Kermit.
Oh, I can do
Aw.
a good Kermit.
I know. I just miss Kermit. Kermit was a character back in the day. What happened to him? He
yeah.
didn't die, did he?
Wait, did Kermit get canceled?
What?
No, I think he got married to Miss Piggy. And
Oh, no. You mean
He's a
Kermit the
kept man
Guard?
now.
That's
I mean
right.
Kermit
That was
the
like
Guard,
episode
yeah.
3 or something.
I thought we were talking about Kermit the Frog.
No. I think they may have found some I think somewhere I have some footage of Kermit the Frog doing unmentionable things. But,
Well, you don't need to say that.
no, it's all good. It's all... Anyway, so we're going to dive in. We'll do a quick recap. I'll then play the thing. We're changing it up. So my name's Todd. I'm going to be the DM. And these fine folks are in hell. Well, their characters are. So let's go around the table, meet them, do a quick recap, and then dive right back in. One thing I will say just before we do that is, Internet, you are part of this too. So if you're watching us live on Twitch on Thursday, around 9:20, although the time is now 9:30, you are welcome to make suggestions for our game. It could be a random spirit passing by. It could be a devil. It could be an event that suddenly happens. A ledge gives out underneath them. A stone falls from the heavens. I don't know. You get to be creative with this because I'm tired. I'm burnt out. So, Internet, you are more than welcome to cash in some of those plot points for him watching and make stuff happen. You can give him a new magic item or take one away, or I don't know. You get to figure it out. In the meantime, you can also follow us after the fact on podcasts, places like Podbean or iTunes and all the other places, Spotify, and so on. We are up there, and you can check all the backlog if you're interested in checking out. I listen to a lot of podcasts on the way to and from work, although who's doing that these days? At least where I live. But anyway, so you can check us out there and on YouTube. Now I'm going to stop talking. And, oh, puppy. Okay. All right, we're going to start up. I can't beat that. We're going to start up there with Bella. And I think your dog's name is Archie.
It is. This is Archie. He has been found. He is not MIA anymore, or...
This is what happens when you get reincarnated, folks.
Wow. That would be amazing if that
Archibald Cunningham, you have been brought to life. Hi, I'm Bella, and I'm playing Darmida, who is a Gloomstalker Ranger, and she's in hell, her least favorite place to be. And
so many targets.
She is... There's so many targets, and now her companions are making deals with succubus and devils. She's having a hard time.
Yeah.
And her mom is here.
Oh,
and her mom is a really...
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't forget to mention her mom.
Yeah, so speaking of
Yeah,
which, just a
and-
quick reminder, you are technically, you have the information that your mom needs to tell you where to find the Sword of Zariel. Just a quick reminder. All right, let's keep going around the horn. Let's go talk to Darcy over there. Hey, Darcy, how you doing? Oh, thanks for the game the other night, by the way. We did a fun little thing.
A little impromptu game. I have no idea how the VODs are going to get cut up because there's sort of like an hour of rambling discussion before we actually start. So,
well, if it's
you're
my
looking
usual,
at that, skip ahead.
If it's my usual MO, I'll just throw everything uncut up on the internet for the internet. We'll kill them all, let God sort them out.
There you go. I will be playing Henrietta Pedersen, also known as Hen. She is a pacifist paladin of Pillar. It's good. It's a good time.
Nice.
That's it. That's me. That's me right now.
Nice. And I was curious what you were thinking about what it's like to be a pacifist in hell. Like, everything wants a piece of you guys.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because it's one of those, we look at D&D and we're like, it says alignment is evil. Why do you care about killing them? But we've seen some reason, right? We've seen actual discussion. And I'm about to have a conversation with an archdevil, right? Like, there's people to a degree. And also, it's important to remember, so maybe it's worth repeating, that Henrietta grew up in a faith that she's now not really a part of, because it turned out it was being headlined by a devil that she didn't actually agree with. Go figure.
And it's interesting you mentioned that, because that devil is now revealed to be in charge of hell, the Eye of Pelor itself, from way back, none other than Zariel, the fallen fallen Solar, I think, or angel anyway, and now archfiend of the first layer of hell.
Mm-hmm. And even on like a lower, leadership rung, her like direct commanding officer was like, I don't even know what they technically were, like a Nersguard or something. I don't know.
Oh, Narzugan.
No. Thank you. Wow, I was
Knight.
surprisingly close.
Yeah, you were. So yes, there is the Narzugan, but and that wasn't always the Narzugan. It was originally one of the High Lord Commander, I think was how I worded it, because I messed it up when I first said it. So it's canon now. And
Commandant.
yes, and that brings us back around to Gordon.
Hey, Gordon playing Fenris, Shadow Sorcerer, who is doing some wheeling and dealing, as Bella mentioned, and trying to stack the odds in our favor so that maybe we can get out of this.
Absolutely. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that, so far you've managed to get a demon freed and on the way to attack. So that might be good. I don't know. And then and you've also got maybe a line on this sword the Zariel apparently lost. That might be good. You could just figure out. Oh, you now know Zariel's name, and no, you don't know. There's something about her eyes. The prophecy by Lulu was something about the eyes, the sword, and the name. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, you find yourselves in a dark room. Well, hold on a sec. We gotta do this. We'll be right back. You find yourselves come in through this weird, bubbling portal of black ooze as you press your way up through into a chamber that is about 20 feet by 15 feet on one side, underlit by this reddish glow of bubbling, boiling lava just a few feet away. The heat hitting you, coming off of this thing, is just intense. It's just singeing your nose hairs to inhale in here. As you take a deep breath, this oily ooze kind of mostly dribbling off of you as you rise out of the pool, climbing up to the side, stepping out onto dry land, and the sweat just pouring down your back. It's really uncomfortable in hell in general, and this just feels like it just got turned up a notch. It's like hell's sauna. And ahead of you, you see this in the glowing light on the far side of this little river of lava. It's only about 10-15 feet across, and you see a cave wall kind of rough hewn in this river flowing down. You are in a small cavern. It is from one side you see the lava pool come in and then flow off to your right, and there's a 5 foot wide, 10 or 15 foot long bridge to another side. On the far side is a small platform and an opening in the wall opposite. But there's a dark tunnel for about 5 feet, and then a little further in is pitch blackness, and then bing, bing, and you see these massive sparks just kicked up, illuminating the room that you're looking into. It opens up just past this little entrance, and you can see it's part of a much larger room. And in the sparks that are kicked off, you see a massive anvil, the top of which is probably about a foot taller than Fenris's head. So it's a good 7 feet up in the air, 6 or 7 feet up in the air, and it's so broad it goes out of sight from the entryway where you are. You can also see this. In the sparks, you see this underlit, grizzled, long, bushy, almost iso beard, kind of red, just fire red, massive beard, and this huge, thick neck with knotted muscle, slick with sweat. The skin is kind of an ashen color, and this bright red beard and bright red unkempt hair, just tied back with a leather cord to keep it out of the way. Sweat just pouring off the brow and hitting this superheated metal on this anvil. Draws back this hammer that is as big as Henrietta's chest and torso, the head of it, and just hefts it up out of sight into this chamber, because it extends upwards as well, and just brings this down with this arm that is thick and knotted with muscle. Bing! Bing! You are looking across at a fire giant. Now, what do you want to do?
Gonna look around the room to see if Bella's there.
Yeah. You look and you see her emerging from the oily pool behind you. The weird transport. Oh, Belle, not Bella? Sorry, I'm getting confused. That's Darmida. So I'm going to put the names back on because it's throwing me off. There we go. All right. So, oh, Belle. So you look past this fire giant and you hear this thing more than see it as it comes hovering into view. This heavy, stone platform just comes hovering over, suspended. You only see the bottom of it with this jagged, broken rock, as though it was a slab of rock that was torn from the earth itself. And perched upon this, you see an elaborate gold and ruby encrusted and other strange iron alloy encrusted throne. And sitting back casually in this throne, one leg crossed casually over the other, you see this hoofed foot, brilliant red skin, kind of cut off with these quite elaborate kind of shorts, so almost like pantaloon, that flare out from the waist and then come down and kind of end at the calves. And you see, not as big as the fire giant, but very, very big And as it kind of hovers down into view, you can now see the being itself that sits atop this throne. You see Bel, one time Archduke of Avernus, now demoted in service to Zariel. You see him, bare chest, massive shoulders, and these two huge red horns just arcing up and out from his head. And he looks down at you all and takes you in with a small, quizzical glare.
Oh, he's noticed us. Okay, cool. Good to know. Did the when we came in here, we were sort of led by a bone devil. They stayed outside, right? They didn't come in to like introduce us or anything.
Nope.
Cool. Just making sure.
Okay, so I guess I'll step up and I'll take out like the letter from the veiled one, just to...
Sure, you're holding the scroll aloft, scroll case.
Yeah.
He just looks at you.
Say, greetings. The veiled one has sent a letter for our introduction. We seek an audience with yourself, O Great Bell.
Mortals. And what makes you so special to warrant an audience with one of my stature?
Well, we're here and we think that perhaps some of our aims are aligned with yours since we've arrived in Avernus.
He turns his head and looks at the fire giant. At this point, you notice another spray of sparks from across the room. There's another giant and a loud clanging sound as there's another one working just a little further away. And again, a little further back. And another one. And Bell turns to them with a slight laugh.
Yes. Well, look who thinks they know what I intend. What do you know of my intention?
So at that, I'll say, I don't presume to know all your intentions, though we come in hope that perhaps some of the things that you desire are things that we may desire, which is why we're here.
Then you come in service. Do you come to pledge yourself to the mighty Bell?
At this point, I do shoot a look.
Yeah, and so what I'll say is this. We arrived here under unusual circumstances, and while we've traveled these lands and seen a great many of this eternal war, we have some other interests in mind when it comes to our own agendas.
Yes. It tires me to speak at my doorstep. Come in. Show yourselves.
Okay. I'm gonna come in. Do 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 do.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow. Unless Darmita beats me to the second place in line. Looks like.
You want to go? I was just going to go here. Stay in line.
Sorry.
And Valerie kind of takes a gasp at trying to cross this, and then kind of nimbly across the bridge and post up next to Darmita there.
Oh, that's a bridge there. Okay, cool. For some reason I thought, I mean, you definitely did describe it that way, but for some reason I thought it was a wall. Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
You can see most of the chamber now, and inside this room, you see this massive iron wrought staircase spiraling up into a cavernous forge, and its channels of bubbling lava wind their way through the complex, casting fiery light over the huge anvils. Chained giants with coal-black skin and fiery orange hair.
Detail.
Sorry, I'm reading it differently this time. I wanted Ash,
cool.
but you know.
No, I'm just saying I didn't know they were chained.
Oh
That's
yes,
very
now you can
important.
see the chains.
Yeah.
They hammer out weapons under the malignant gaze of a pit fiend seated on the flying throne. Throughout the forge, sparks fall like rain. I can's read. You can also see on the far side massive weapons racks, and they're incredibly huge weapons, most of them. Oversized, fit for very large creatures and above, except a few that are kind of hanging, and you can see the glowing red hot irons, and every once in a while one of the giants like lumbers over to the lava and takes this pail off of these hanging chains, grabs one and dunks it into the lava and just pours it in on top of the some piece of metal nearby, like superheating the metal, and then goes walking back to the forge. They don't avoid the lava, but they don't linger at it either.
So,
Just a clarifying quick.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Not important.
No.
Okay, if you will. Bell is significantly smaller than these giants. Is that what I'm seeing here?
He is smaller, yes.
Is that an accurate description, or is
He's
that
a
just,
large fiend. So he is technically size large, but they are
Cool.
bigger than him still.
Yeah, giants.
And they seem
Yeah,
very
big.
subservient. Although, do an insight check for me.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's not obvious, but it sounded by your description it was. I'm taking very much note of those chains. But I'll make an insight check.
Yeah, the giants are huge.
Only 16. Only a 16 on the inside.
All right. Well, you get this pretty much for free. When they think he's not looking, they're casting kind of begrudging, bitter looks towards Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And they have these massive chains that are connected to collars around their necks that kind of arc up into the ceiling, along with several chains dangling down to hold various implements and tools and weapons in various state of construction.
Cool.
now come in. I don't imagine what you have to say will interest me much, but it takes a pair of stones to walk in here. So, I'll read your little missive, and if I don't like it, well, let's just say it'll be the last thing you've ever decided to do.
I mage hand the missive over to him.
Nice.
Just
He does seem kind of happy about that, and he kind of plucks it out with his hand and pulls it out and reads it. His face softening ever so slightly with a slightly peaked eyebrow, and then he looks up at Fenris, and then he looks up at, takes in Darmita and Valerie the Aarakocra monk that we didn't introduce. And then Henrietta last, and his eyes linger as he looks at your shield and the iconography that you wear of Pelor. And you see his lip kind of curl. And then he just kind of lets the thing go back, and your mage hand still has it, and it's hovering for a second, and he just kind of waves a clawed finger, and it just bursts into flames. And is no more.
So the Veiled One seeks to gain some favor by sending me her pet mortals. Ha!
And he turns and he laughs, and the fire giants begrudgingly. And he goes on and he starts talking about how the Veiled One has fallen from favor and is digging among scraps from El Terrell, and all of these things, and the frost giants are just kind of. And then inside your mind, Fenris, you hear Bel's voice. And wait, do you let him speak to you?
Yes.
There's a slight tug and a push that almost makes you take a step backwards as your ring kind of pulses. He's trying to communicate or take over your mind, one or the other.
I will allow it.
Interesting, mortal. You have some surprises. What really brings you here? Do not speak it out loud. Speak it to me in your mind.
So in my mind, I give him an image of vengeance.
You just picture, like, just executing Ostrin. That's the biggest thing
like
of vengeance.
Haruman, vengeance on Haruman. And so I give him the picture of personal vengeance on Haruman, who is in a prime servant of Zariel.
You have my attention.
Darmida, as Bel is expounding upon the weaknesses of the Veiled One and how it's absolute folly to go against the Archduke of Avernus, the rightful controller of Avernus, Zariel should be obeyed. While he's saying that, in your mind, Bel speaks to you.
And what brings you before me?
I believe we have a mutual enemy. I seek your assistance in dealing with that problem. You'll benefit from it. Simple. I believe that's your motivation for much benefit. It's beneficial.
You smell of heaven. Something in you. Please take offense But I don't trust the celestial born. Even
And at that
one
point,
as tainted as yourself.
I'm going to use my necrotic shroud and show my wings.
Oh, great. I'll make a saving throw.
Not offensively.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
You're
I'm
not going to use
not.
the feature, you're going to just use
Yeah.
the feature. Cool.
I'm not trying
The wings
know I
just
can't.
come out
to fear him,
as she just
but I'm showing my true self.
and your cloak falls back, and these blackened skeletal wings just extend out from your back, and you're just like, and you are. Hold on one sec. That's a wisdom save.
I mean, only if you're using it. And
Charisma.
if it
Oh, charisma
so,
save.
wait, so are you using
What's
it
the
or not?
DC?
I don't intend to use it. It's a freaking DC 13. I mean,
Okay.
my God, he's a massive like.
Also,
I mean, he's probably at a range of the
he's
actual
technically
DC,
out of
but the rest of them aren't, and it's not targeted. It hits everybody.
yeah, it hits everybody. So
Yeah.
go ahead and make a charisma save, as she's just like,
Cool. Yeah, I'm wondering
Would
if you're
they-
actually using it or not. Yeah.
Would they have to? Because they've seen me do it.
That's not how
It's
the move
an
works.
effect.
It's freaky.
No?
It's freaky.
yeah, it's
freaky.
freaky shit. It is freaky, like fallen angel. All right,
All
Go
right,
ahead and make your
DC
saves.
13.
it's okay.
But you can use my
Yeah, you can use your save bonus.
aura protection.
So plus
Oh,
2
is
to
that,
Fenris.
what does that add to?
That's 4. The saves.
Well, I'll automatically save then, but okay. I just saved, yay!
Darcy,
With a 1.
did you roll a 1?
we both got nat ones, yes. But
and
but,
Gordon got that one.
Fenris had the plus 13,
I have plus
whereas I have a
13,
plus
so I
4. Less than that.
Okay, well, Fenris sees this come out and involuntarily flinches, but he's okay. He's just like,
Mhm.
he's seen it a few times now.
Wasn't
Henrietta,
expecting it.
I don't know that have you ever seen this?
I might not have, because the last time you used it, I think I wasn't there for that battle. I was like sleeping in the car.
You were
Sure, that's just
before
actually
that-
what happened. Yeah.
you were half out of it. Henrietta was half out of it when Ben Kum
All right.
got taken. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she would have seen something along that line, but it would have been so woozy. And it wasn't
Not enough
actually you.
that I'm
That was
like
NPC.
used to it, even if I've seen it at all,
Yep,
which I might
so
not have.
You fail.
So I think like during this scene, I've been kind of like not even really listening. Obviously, I can hear the telepathic stuff. But I've been assuming they're speaking in Infernal, because why wouldn't they? So I'm just like been like, okay, I want to get information on these giants, maybe inspect the chains, that kind of stuff. So I've been like looking around, and then there's just like this burst of energy, and I just like stumble backwards. It's like, whoa!
Yeah.
I just like end up like I don't know how far I
You
have to
bump into the
technically move,
wall.
but I like
That's
definitely,
yeah.
I definitely
that
like
way.
stumble back at least a square. I'll probably like fall down, or maybe I catch myself. But
And what's
yeah,
the
I'm
range
like-
on the shroud, Darmita?
It's only 10 feet.
Cool,
Okay.
yeah, just in
Yeah,
it.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just because I rolled already. I was
in
assuming that one of the
time.
giants was
Hey,
here.
Carl.
Hey, just in time, dude. Make a saving throw.
Just in time to make a saving throw.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me get my
It's all
actual
good.
character up.
Welcome
Basically, you're frightened for 6 seconds.
Nice.
That's it.
I am. Alright. Oh,
If you fail to save.
It's a charisma saving throw.
It's a DC 13 charisma. But
Although-
you get +4.
back. By the way,
Well,
and
when
then-
you did that,
Right,
Belle
yeah,
was
but I could be wrong.
suitably impressed and was like,
Sometimes I don't like surprises. And sometimes I do.
I gotta sign into DnD Beyond. it
"No
seems.
worries, man. I'm just gonna roll for you
You do that.
because you're technically my NPC.
Yeah.
Your wisdom saved, so you'll be fine. You rolled a 9, but with bonuses, you'll be okay. So it was only Henrietta that failed, which is
And has-
so appropriate.
Yeah, it's appropriate.
Yeah,
And
I love
has
that.
Valerie seen Darmita in her
No.
true form?
No, I don't believe so. Valerie, all of a sudden, Darmida's skeletal black wings come out, bursting out, and she drops her cloak that usually hides them, and she just has this super well, go ahead and describe it there, Bella.
Yeah, she's just very dark and like frightening.
Like,
she is
you've seen her
a
mom.
force.
And now
Yeah.
the resemblance becomes clear. The fallen,
I look just like my mom.
the fallen, half undead looking, like sallow and like opposite color eyes. Like,
Sick.
just are they white or black
Yeah.
eyes?
When I'm like this, they're fully white.
Nice. Just, and she's just exuding this terrifying visage. So since you're booting up, I'll let you roll. That's fun.
Are you still on our side?
Let's find out.
So,
Yes.
wisdom saving
It's
throw?
charisma.
Oh, of course it has to be charisma.
Why
You
wouldn't
do
it be
get a +4
charisma?
though.
I guess I can double check the range. I'm pretty sure that she doesn't, but
So
Looks
plus
low.
4, so that'd be 16.
Oh, you
There you go,
pass.
you're good.
It was 13. So you
Yeah.
you are surprised, but you're not frightened of her. Although any sane person probably would be at this point. So, anywho, ironically, jumping back here, as this transformation takes place and Belle begins laughing, both inside your head and in the room, one of the fire giants that's closest just got caught in the range. This one right here.
Okay.
And rolled a 3. And so you see this massive giant take this huge, like, I don't know if you speak giant, but he's saying something, and Belle's just laughing louder at him, and he begins to take a few steps back away from Darmida. You successfully frightened a giant.
I'm realizing I actually rolled a wisdom save and I have a difference of 5, so I technically would have made it. I think it's funnier if I failed, though.
You're still surprised. So, inside your head, Valerie, this pit fiend, massive devil, looking down from this hovering platform of stone on which is a twisted throne. It's just reclined in it. And he looks at you, and outwardly he's saying all kinds of things about himself and like,
No one stands against Bel or Zariel. Zariel is the rightful leader.
but inside your head, you hear a voice of Bel inside your head, Valerie, as he says,
And what brings you here, feathered one? Do you sing?
I was following this group of which I thought I knew. I guess life is full of surprises. So at this point, fucked if I know. I'm just here to fuck shit up. Which, in all honesty, joining in late is probably true.
What do you want? More than anything.
Well, that's pretty easy. Like, I want Sarnia, for one. I need to bring her back.
Sorry.
Unless you can help me with that.
That two-bit turncoat. You will not say her name in my presence.
Oh, you two are acquainted?
He actually stops his mind, like, that threw him enough that he would, like, stop speaking mid-sentence, and he just turns and glares at Valerie, and he's just like...
Where was I? Oh, yes.
I don't know, man.
Loyalty.
I have a charisma of -1, so.
No one is more loyal to Zariel than Bell. And loyalty. Loyalty matters.
He kind of gives a pointed look at Valerie.
Yeah, and I think you've done great service to Zariel. What with bringing El Terrell down here, and you played a key role in that, I think.
Bell turns and looks at Fenris again, and just takes him in for a second. And in your head, you get... It's not even a word, it's almost an impression of, like... What do you know?
What do you know?
Like, it's almost like he's almost willing you to tell him what you already know, but your ring just slips off you like water off a duck's back. And then you just kind of... Yes.
Yes. Pardon me. As I was saying, Zariel is amazing, and all should...
And he keeps going on that way for quite a while, as he turns
And
to
so-
Henrietta.
Okay.
In Henrietta's mind.
What would one who follows Pellar want here, of all places? Don't get me wrong. It will be great fun torturing you for a few thousand years. What brings you here?
Do you mean here in front of you, or just down to Avernus? 'Cause I think you should know the latter.
Enlighten me.
Weren't you involved in bringing down Eltrail? I just happened to be there.
Are
I
you
thought
saying
to
this
get
out
it all
loud or
back
in your
if I
head?
can. In my head, yeah.
Okay.
I've actually been kind of assuming that this has been like Bell has been able to have like say one thing and have multiple different telepathic communications simultaneously. Is that
Pretty
accurate, or
much.
is he actually taking turns
All,
between us?
no, it's all very overlappy.
Yeah.
And that's what the only one that really threw him off was when Valerie mentioned Sarnia, and that one
Yeah.
kind of changed the timing to be a bit weird. And Henrietta, there was a bit of delay as some of this goes on, and then Henrietta's like, "What?" and is taking in the stone giants, and then sees that, and then hears the voice.
Mhm.
So, don't assume you're the first of the followers of Pellar to find yourselves in hell. But that is one particularly juicy detail.
Can you just like repeat that without the stuff? Because I just want to make sure I heard that right. I'm sorry to take you out of it.
Oh, he was just saying that lots and lots of those who follow, the good gods end up down here anyway. He's just mocking you. But
Oh, sure.
he continues to say,
Well, I'd like to reply.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Sorry, that stuff struck me as funny. Getting Eltrail back is one thing on my mind, but bringing the eye back out of your hair, as it were, back to the light is another. So yeah, I suppose I have more to do down here than just an interruption.
You see,
This next section, echoey. This next section is in all of your minds simultaneously, and let's say, for the sake of argument, you can all hear each other now.
Ooh.
so am I to assume you wish to go against Zariel, and you want my help? Do not say it out loud.
In my mind, I think you know the answer to that.
Do we all hear it or just Fenris?
You all heard
We
that.
all hear it.
And you can hear Fenris now in your mind. It's weird. He's turned on group chat.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I know
Group chat.
that Fenris has responded. That's important information. So those might be like, well, I don't know that everyone else can hear me. Cool.
Now you know.
I'll just nod.
Yeah,
I'll just nod approvingly.
I don't respond.
You wish. You wish Zariel either harm or, at the very least, gone from this place or this place of status. You're right, my mortal. That might be something I'm interested in. And you, little bird, you seek revenge against one who was my own, in turn. My one-time servant, loyal, cast me out and pledged herself to Zariel. And you will make her suffer? Do you promise?
I can promise that she'll get what she deserves.
I'm not a big fan of secrets.
So at this point, I give him a quick couple of images of what I've done to Sarnia. Like, hiding from her and tossing her through a portal to the demons, and then beating the ever-living crap out of her in the dream shard, and I just kind of look at him and smile,
And he hovers his chair a little lower and kind of floats down towards you. So he still towers over you, but he bends down, hands on his knees, kind of casual, but he bends down so his face is almost level with Fenris. And he looks at him, and it's this beautiful, you could see that image in a movie, there's just this devil towering over this group of adventurers, surrounded by these giants. And he looks you square in the eyes, and he gives this entertained grin.
Well, mortals, you have my attention. And you're right. I could help you. But here's the thing. A few fancy memories and strong intentions, be they good.
That's with a look to Henrietta.
Or malicious. Those are one thing. But do you even have what it takes? I just don't know.
At that point, I'm gonna type in and tell him, basically show him us freeing Pistache.
I'll just shoot him in the face. Come on, you know you want to.
I do, but I won't. She's learning real patience down here.
She really is, yeah.
She really is. With reserve, but she's doing it. And I'm gonna kind of let him know we've already taken steps before meeting you to raise an army. We just thought we'd come as a courtesy.
He kind of hovers back at that a little bit casually. He hovers casually, and he turns his thing around, half turns around, and he kind of flies back about 10 or 15 feet, and about now he's about 20, 30 feet up. The whole platform, this whole room is probably 100 feet side to side, and almost the same straight ahead of you, and with this massive central staircase. And he's hovering, and it goes up 80, maybe more feet into, some of your dark vision can see, but it is a very tall, it's actually taller than it is wide. And he hovers back a little bit, laughing, and and in your minds, he says,
I want to believe you. I really do. And if you can dispose, or depose, or whatever, Zariel, I would be interested in backing that. But I need to know. So, please take no offense. Or do. I don't care.
And then out loud, as he's now about 35 feet up in the air, 40 feet, as he's kind of hovering out and around, he turns casually to the fire giants and says,
What harm is it to you? If we can't do it, we die. What do you care?
Too true. Too true.
He says in common. Out loud.
Yeah, I probably have to shout that because, he just controls the telepathy.
So,
he turns to the fire giants and
I
says,
think I've actually stepped back closer with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Position myself.
He turns to the fire giants and says,
a test then for our honored guests. The giant that slays them wins its freedom.
and he turns around and takes you all in, now about 45 feet up, and looks at you and says,
Best them. And I know you can best Zariel.
oh well.
He-
That last thing was in your head. I kind of got a little off on the mistiness, the echoey. But that last one was in
Yeah,
your head.
basically anything that betrays his, when he's saying stuff he's not allowed to say, it's in our head.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So I want to keep good eyes and see if I can figure out what the heck he does to free them. Because he's got to do something.
So with that, Bell just flicks his hand casually, and the chains just glow with this, like as though they were slit by this really brilliant red line, almost like laser light, just right down the center, and the chains pop off. The one to the left, the one to the right, the one opposite, and the one next to him, and all the fire giants kind of.
While they're shocked at their chains falling off, can I have a reaction to mark him?
Bell or one of the
Okay.
giants?
One of the
The one that
giants.
she was pinging.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, the one that I had frightened.
Oh yeah.
As well, I'm sure mechanically the fright has been worn off because we talked much longer than a round.
That's fair.
I think it's still fair that he
He's going to be a little
can
intimidated.
have some effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're all kind of clutching at their throats, and they look at each other, and then they grab whatever nearest implement they had and start roll initiative.
A big hammer. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
big maul.
Actually, is it
half-finished
big
sword.
smith hammer or is it weapon they were forging?
Some of them it's smith hammer, some of them it's massive sword. It really varies of whatever's at hand. I'll let you know
Yeah.
what impales you when the time comes. All right,
Yeah, if the weapon was done, it was the weapon. If it wasn't, it was the hammer.
let's roll initiative. Oh, there's other weapons in racks around.
Yeah,
the
you
room,
said there
too.
was a bunch of racks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So roll initiative.
That one.
Ooh, nice.
It still got higher than Darcy.
Yeah. You a monk? What you do?
Hopefully this bad roll gets out of the way.
Sorry, do you think Henrietta had dexterity? No, 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 no.
City person.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to
And,
pull up my spell list. I wasn't expecting to fight.
I mean, I'm not planning to fight, so you know.
Oh, goody.
No.
I do
Hold
just-
on.
I do
Are
want
you
to
a
pass one
pacifist that
thing.
doesn't fight, or you just don't kill? Because you've grappled lots of times.
Oh yeah, right. That's true. But like, an attack that knocks someone out is bogus, and it shouldn't be in the rules. Like it's stupid. I'm gonna
It's in there.
I'm gonna beat like 80 hit points out of you and then knock you out. Like, no, you're not. That's
Hey,
dumb.
it's all about accuracy. All right, so what was yours, Gordon?
19.
19 for Fenris. Darmita?
23?
Nice.
Let me double check.
Valerie?
10.
And Henrietta?
8.
Oh, I thought I read that wrong. Okay, so starting at the top, Darmita. He's already marked. You got that for free.
All right. And I'm just curious, how long did that interaction with Bell take?
Maybe 30 seconds.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know. Because while my fright is not still active, my shroud is. So I get to have one attack, heal 12 extra.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
up to a minute. I'm within the 60 seconds with that. So I'm gonna take my first attack on him. That's a 17.
17? Oh, actually, hold on. Technically, they're not wearing their plate armor. They do have naturally very tough skin, but they don't have plate. So,
That makes sense. You wouldn't do that in play.
yeah. So, that does hit. They still have incredibly thick skin.
So I'm
But
just
that
gonna
hits.
roll all my. Can I just roll all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
my
do all your
things
attacks.
and then we'll kind of figure it out?
Yeah, totally.
So here comes number 2. And I'm guessing that does not hit, so I'm gonna use my.
No, that one doesn't.
Yeah, I'll use my feature. For that gives me my Stalker's Fury.
Yep.
Or Flurry, Stalker's
Use-
Flurry. So I will
Arrows.
re-roll that.
Yep, go for it.
So still second attack. 16.
just hits.
Okay. And then third, I'm going to...
Ooh, 20 hits.
That's a 20.
Because of that
All right.
ambush.
So, yeah. So, let's stop
33
top
damage
here.
so far, and you get to roll some hunter's marks.
Plus another 12.
So
Plus 3 hunter's marks.
45
So I'm just
plus
gonna...
3 hunter's marks. Ooh, that first giant, the one that had taken a step back away from you, kind of hesitates for a second and just starts getting pincushioned with all these arrows.
Plus another 8.
Rolling ones
And
though.
plus another... So, yeah, unfortunately, on my extra die, my D8, I got only a 1. So,
Yeah.
additional 9 on top of that. And did you add the 12?
I did. So that's 54 points of damage, and just like, oh man, that's a lot. This thing's just pin cushioning,
And
sticking out
then-
of this kind of leather apron that it wears, blood beginning to pour down. It's joining the sweat across its belly. All right, do you
Can
want
I
to
say
move?
something? Can I say something for
Yeah.
free? Like,
Yeah.
while she's doing this? Good. Fall back to the bridge. Choke point.
Yeah, I'm gonna... whoops. What did I just do? Okay. So it was here 5...
Oh,
10,
I was going to
15,
say it had
20.
reach, but you made him move back a step, so he doesn't get you. That's
And
luck.
I'm back here, out of the way.
Yep. So you head back across that bridge.
And-
Can I get you to do a dexterity saving throw, or acrobatics, or dex check to see how you handle that bridge in a hurry? I didn't make you do it on the way over, but crossing that bridge does take a dex acrobatics check.
Sounds reasonable.
18. You're all right.
18?
Just right across the bridge. And that puddle of... Well, we'll get to that. All right. That was Darmida. Up next, Fenris. Valerie, you're on deck.
Okay. I am going to cast.
Excuse me?
I'm going to cast a spell.
What are you going to cast?
I'm going to cast. Let's see. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay, I'm going to cast Fireball, and I'm going to use Transmutation. So it starts off with an orb of flame, and it turns to lightning, because I can
Nice.
just assume fire giants are immune to fire.
Yeah, probably a good bet.
Yeah.
In fact,
And
it kind of
I'm gonna-
laughs when you start to go and get the little seed for Fireball ready. It's like,
Yeah.
Alright, so
the
Valerie
lightning
takes note
begins
of
to
that and
crackle.
will not expend
Yeah.
Fireball.
So I'm just gonna lob it between the two giants in front of me.
Yeah.
The one that Darmida hit and the one behind it.
yeah, there was kind of left and back far right corner there.
Right.
Left of them,
So they must
Dex
what is
save,
it?
yeah.
Dex saving throw. Dex
Yeah.
saving throw.
And
for
what's
those
your
two
DC?
giants. Sorry, what?
What's your DC?
My DC 17.
Well, you know how dexterous these massive giants are. They both fail.
Okay. And so then they take 86 lightning damage.
Nice. And technically be fired too, but that does nothing. It's almost like that volcano lightning that happens in a pyroclastic cloud, where it's fire, but it's also like sparking, all etched within.
I'm gonna spend another shadow point to empower. Sorcery point to empower.
Absolutely.
The roll. So I'm gonna swap out the 2 1s. The 2. You know what? The 2 1s. The 2 and the 2 3s. So I'm going to roll 5d6.
Sure
so I'll
thing.
keep the 2 5s and the 6.
So far 16. Ooh, good call.
Ooh, 16 plus 27. 30, 43. So 43 damage to these two. That hurts.
That hurts.
Well,
The one in the
what's
back
reroll?
had just reached over to the wall and had grabbed this massive sword. This thing is like, you could build this into some kind of support beam balcony in a building, and it's just pulled this off the wall and like checks it and looks at you, and this thing goes off and right in its face. And then the other one that was frightened Darmida just gets blasted forward and like, oof, leaning over that massive anvil, kind of like blown forward, and sparks just playing over it and over the anvil. They seem genuinely surprised to be hurt by our fireball. Nice job. Do you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to use a bonus action, and I'm going to convert a level 3 spell to sorcery points. So I'll get 3 sorcery points out of that.
Okay.
And lastly, I'm going to try to move across the bridge.
What's with the bridge?
Do I have to? So what do I have to roll?
Acrobatics or athletics? Acrobatics.
Yeah, it would be acrobatics.
To get by? Yeah.
No matter how strong you are.
I rolled a 10. I am.
Rolled a 10. So you're just
Yeah,
running backwards, and you just miscalculate, and one of your feet just misses off the side of it.
Yeah, twist your ankle. Awful.
So you're falling, sir. You don't have any luck left, do you?
No, I have luck points.
You're gonna fall over the side.
Okay, I'm going to use the luck point. Then.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll that acrobatics.
Yeah, 13.
A little better. And enough. It's DC 12. And so you slip for a second, catch yourself, looking over the edge, you see the bubbling lava just up like 2 feet below you. And you're just like,
Oh.
all right.
I have
You
actually my
managed.
luck points, right? Because we had a long rest,
Oh, that's right.
and I hadn't used it since
We've had
then.
a fight since
Yeah.
then, but I don't know if you used it or not. Yeah.
Alright,
I mean,
so-
I'm sure you kept track. So.
All right. Coming up
So
next,
we've had long
Valerie.
rest?
On deck is Henrietta. They rolled real bad.
So we had a long rest.
But
We
not
had a
since
long
the
rest
rumor
back
had-
at the veiled one, and we had a fight since then, but I haven't used my luck points.
Oh, okay, got it. All right. So I take it then the lightning javelin is not recharged because it has been dawn.
No, because you used it during that.
Hey,
fight.
I'm just double
Yeah.
checking. Exactly. Well, chances are I'm not gonna go across the
I mean,
bridge.
just go
'cause
up,
I don't have
right?
anything
Like,
ranged.
they can't get you. I mean, I guess they could probably throw, like, rocks at you or something, but whatever.
You can go across
Famous
Yeah, but I
last
still-
words.
You can go across the bridge. You can easily do acrobat. You tell me you're
You could literally fly
No,
across
I
the
can
bridge.
do it.
You don't even need to make the check.
I can do it, except that if I want to contribute to anything, I have to go up close to these guys and hit them.
Okay, so
So-
go up.
Yeah.
And you can either hit him or you can. Yeah. You can go up and hit him and disengage, right?
Maybe? I can't remember.
Mm,
I can't remember if that's a core monk thing or if
I
it's
can use a
class.
key, I can use a key point, then I won't necessarily have.
There's a lot of key points.
Hold on a second.
You can hit him twice, and you can use
I
the key
know I have
point
a
and
lot of key
bonus
points.
action to disengage. I think, right? It's been a while since I've played them.
Yeah, and then I have to move, but I have to move there, then move back. I'm just calculating to see if I have
You got
enough
fucking
movement,
movement,
though.
Oh, you should have a lot, because flying speeds are higher than
Alright.
they're walking.
Flying,
So I'll go
flying speeds are
here.
broken.
Yeah, they really are.
I'll go here and hit him twice.
All right, so you fly. The
Or
one
try
that's
to hit
kind
him
of
twice.
thrown forward over its anvil. You just fly towards it and like half leaping up. Make your rolls.
Let's use the momentum.
It's fun. You just flap your wings,
Okay.
and your legs are like winding up. Your talons.
26
Nah, that's it.
Nice.
for the first hit.
Yeah.
And not too bad, 9 points.
Nice. The talons just.
And then
You didn't take that feat that slashing damage does stuff, did you?
no.
Oh, okay. Because that'd be pretty sick.
And then 15 is the next one.
15 just scratches along the surface of its skin, doesn't cut through.
Alright, so I shall use a key point to disengage. I need that.
You guys have done 106 damage to that one giant in a round. Whew. It's tough though. It's beefy.
Okay, so step of the wind, yes, and then I will move back
Sure.
across the bridge, fly over.
So as you go over, you're like an eagle with your feet as he's like leaned over the anvil, and he looks up just in time, and just the first foot scratches just above one of his eyes and takes a gouge out of him, and then off you go, and where did you end up? Oh, back towards where the rest of the group is. As you arc backwards
Yeah,
off.
because I don't know why we're meeting there, but hey, everybody else is there. I'll go with them.
Yep, that's cool. All right, Henrietta.
All right, I've got a few questions for you.
Sure.
One, when Bell ordered them, what language was it speaking?
It would speak in common at that time.
So the giants understand common, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Most giants don't. Two, the chains. They like fell off, right? They didn't just like unclasp or anything.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
they're not on them anymore.
They're not on them right now, no. And they're dangling
Okay.
kind of on these long chains loosely from the ceiling.
Very cool. And I see a stairwell, like a spiral staircase. What do I know about that?
You know it goes up. This appears to be the bottom of Avernus.
Okay. Does it like go around multiple times? Like, can I?
Oh
Is
yeah.
there like a complete wall around the whole thing, or can I see multiple levels of the stairs?
You could. It's
From
kind of
where I
built
am.
into this stalagmite, and so it goes as it goes up. There are sections that are almost like windows that you can see in, where it's in sections where it just dangles off of the precipice, and then at other times where it's completely encased, carved inside, and it winds up where it meets its counterpart at the top. They do connect in this thick pillar, and the staircase is most evident there. This is probably about 40 feet up, and then it
Right.
keeps winding upwards from there, and it begins to burrow more and more, and then disappears into the ceiling at the
So what
top.
you're saying is that if I ran up that stairwell, there'd be a wall between me and.
Yeah,
Cool.
and who knows? They would probably lead upwards towards the rest of Bel's monstrous volcano lair. He's an arch villain.
Right.
He's got a volcano lair,
Gotta have a volcano.
and you guys
there.
bypassed
I mean,
all of that by going through that portal.
We did, in fact. That's true. I can do that? Yeah, I can. Sweet. So around here is where I
Yep.
can get to?
Looks good.
From
And you-
my current angle,
Yeah.
can I see a window there?
Internet? Is there a window? I'm gonna say at the lower sections, it's actually a little more covered than not. So that's only about 15, maybe 20 feet up at that point. So I'm gonna say no. That section has wall, but about another 5 feet or so is a little gap, a little carving out of it, and you can see a little bit of a hole.
Okay. So I'm gonna need line of sight for what I want to do.
If you stop right about here, you could get line of sight on this one for sure.
Okay. Yeah, let's try that. So I'm gonna move to here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Henrietta just, as everyone attacks and retreats, Henrietta just boom, 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 just charges.
So I've been like
in.
taking in this scene as this has been going, like during most of the talking before I started having to respond to telepathic stuff, and I see those chains come off, and I'm like, this is an opportunity. So I'm gonna run up, and I don't know if this will work or not because it's technically not telepathy, and I assume Belle's gonna like intercept telepathy if I tried that, but it's technically not. So I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna like let out kind of like a 2-finger whistle at the one up there, and I'm casting message.
All right, absolutely.
Yeah,
You get its attention.
I think that should be able to be heard because it's interesting. Cool.
So you were casting message to the giant on the far north of the room, the one
that's right
in the far left.
Yeah, I'm like, you have no reason to fight here. You're free for the first time. You and your brothers outnumber him. Brothers and sisters.
You get like 5
I
more
mean you
words.
no harm.
Nice.
You didn't see what happened to the bottom one. It's fine.
All right. Can I get you to
I assume some of them are women. Yeah.
Can I get you to do a persuasion check?
I'd love to do a persuasion check. Where's my
You are
persuasion check?
fighting it. Well, technically fighting it. So let's do it with
29.
disadvantage. With disadvantage.
29 with disadvantage.
Oh,
Boom.
nice.
I got 2 29s.
2 29s. 29. All right. I don't know. Nice. Not bad. Not bad. And that one is hefting this massive, like, hammer and just kind of pauses and looks around and just barely catches sight of you and your plate mail as you duck around the corner. And it locks eyes with you for a second and kind of looks down at its hammer, looks over at the others, and then back.
Yeah, I want to be like at eye level with it, or like maybe I'm probably still a little bit lower, but like I've gotten a little bit
You're
up
pretty
higher.
much eye level at this point.
Yeah. It's clearly a sign of respect and not me hiding behind this wall. Clearly.
All right, so we'll see how it takes that.
Wow, message. Never got to use that yet. I don't know if
Nothing
that's
like
true or
that
not.
message in combat.
Hey,
All right, coming up next, fire giants. Okay, so the one that you've been beating on hefts itself up off of the anvil and just kind of awkwardly rolls off the side and then picks itself up off the ground and does spend half its movement doing it, and then goes 5, 10, 15, 20, and stops there and decides to just throw this massive set of tongs, like metal tongs that it had been holding, just like, and just hefts them at Darmida and Fenris, who are kind of clustered together a bit to the right side. So I am going to get, I'm going to do a roll. Let's see how this goes. This is to hit both of you, because it's that big. Yeah, let me see how this goes.
yeah, I don't have line of sight there. Cool. Fortunate.
Does 22 hit your AC, Darmida?
Yeah. Yes. I don't believe I have shield, so yeah.
Okay. And then, does 15 hit your AC, Fenris?
15 does not hit my AC.
All right, so you managed to just see it coming and just flatten yourself. And Darmida kind of turns just in time to see this thing just spinning towards you. And she doesn't duck out of the way in time and just clacks her. She's going to take 21 bludgeoning damage. Oh, sorry. 30 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
My mistake. Wrong thing.
Oh.
And there's now a massive metal tongs just kind of in behind, pried against the wall there.
I'm gonna grab this immediately.
Now, by the way, okay, coming up next. This one can't get through. The one that just threw is kind of blocking its path, so it comes rushing down 5, 10, 15 to kind of see, and just shoves the other one by the shoulders, like, which you can assume is get out of the way, and just looks around, grabs a hammer off of the anvil, a relatively small one for like fine work, and I mean for you it's a massive warhammer, and it just turns and just hucks it past this guy, trying to hit Valerie.
All right.
Does
Valerie get any cover?
Yeah, I'm gonna say your AC is 2 higher because the other giant's kind of blocking it, so partial, a little bit. So that's gonna be a 20. Wait, hold on. Rolled a 19. Yeah, so 21 to hit your AC, Valerie.
It does, but I'm gonna use deflect missiles.
Nice. Oh, damn. Yeah.
Nice.
Make your roll.
Oh, I've never used that, so
Neither have I.
1d6 plus 16.
All right.
So
This thing is
yeah.
flung
No,
with
it's
some
1d10.
1d10 plus 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and
22.
roll it.
22 damage.
So 20.
Or the damage you take, it's reduced by 22.
Nice. That's good. You were going to take 30 damage from this pinwheeling hammer, and you just whack, smack it as it comes in. You end up only taking 8 damage, 8 bludgeoning.
Okay.
All right. Up next. This one moves forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gets in behind that one and just grabs it and tries to throw it aside. So he's just going to use this action to try and shove his comrade there, and not terribly successful in it. So they're basically trying to get at you, but they can't get in there. And the last one is just standing there, looking at its hammer, kind of. And looking at the central pillar. And looks back at the lake of boiling lava just behind it. And he turns and rushes and dives into the boiling lava and starts swimming towards the exit. And Bal, who's been laughing and just sitting and watching the fight, let's see if Bal notices.
Okay, it's not my intent, but I guess that works.
Wait, just behind the screen, just so you know, he rolled a 20 to be like, should I do this? Or should I try to win my freedom? And you managed to convince it not to attack you, but to make a run. And it was like, well, I want my freedom.
No, I like that. That's a
I'm gonna swim for
reasonable
it.
reaction to what I did. Yeah.
And so it dives into the lake and starts to swim. And Bell, he doesn't notice. He's too busy watching these other 3 giants fall over themselves trying to catch you all. And he's just busy sitting on his platform.
Oh, yeah.
All right, top of the order. Darmina.
You all saw it here. I killed 1 giant. No one can ever say I don't do damage.
It just dove into the lava. Little
One
noise trying to
awesome.
swim his way up.
Awesome. All right, so Darmina took a heavy hit there.
Yeah, I got my quota, yeah. One for each of us. I'm done.
You can. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you prone, but you got bashed around, and then you just kind of spend a few seconds steadying yourself.
All right, at the guy who just hit me with my hunter's mark, I am going to pepper him again.
All
29.
Right. 29
and
hits. Yeah, you got straight line of shot at him. And he's
27. Yeah.
Yeah, both of those
And
hit.
so there's 2 of these. All right. So that's 29.
29 damage. A couple more arrows. Oof.
And at this point,
He's looking pretty rough.
because I thought I was a little kind of had some cover here, but I guess I don't. So I'm actually how dark is it in here?
Unfortunately, because of the lava, it's quite well lit. Because of all the
right.
boiling red.
Todd,
Right.
you were going to say something about this pool of black goo, and then you stopped.
Yeah, you're not over there.
Oh,
Oh yeah, sure, I know, but I mean, this might be relevant for.
Yep,
for
could
Thermita.
be. She hasn't looked though.
Okay.
no. I mean, I'm trying not to get killed. I'm gonna kind of back into this corner, and I just gotta check one thing. Sorry. Yeah, I don't.
You can use the massive tongs
That's an
for
action. Okay.
ever so slight cover.
I'm hiding behind the tongs.
They come up to your knee. It doesn't do a lot.
That's about all I can do. I can't sustain much more
All right.
hit. So
You hide behind the sorcerer. And what do you want to do? Oh, I guess
I
you
do.
did. Yep, you did. You shot. You do what you do. Fenris,
that's it.
you're up.
Actually,
Yeah?
sorry, I do have a bonus action,
Sure. What do you want to do?
right?
Yeah, you do.
I am going to drink the fire potion, the fire giant potion.
The fire giant strength? All right.
Mhm.
Sure.
Really?
I don't know. I might need it.
Fair enough.
Okay. That's a really okay.
Interesting move.
Oh wait, yeah. I thought I was waiting to use that for the big fight. Shit.
Well, you haven't. You have it on your possession.
No.
Do you have any healing potions?
I mean, if I was DMing, I wouldn't let you drink it now anyway, but that's just me.
You weren't there, yeah. Yeah, I don't actually have any potions. I do have a very minor healing potion.
It's up to you.
I guess I would be fumbling around to try to find. I don't know if I'd be able to distinguish, so I don't think it would be a bonus action at that point because I'd have to figure out which is which.
Yeah. You're kind of clinking around in your,
Right.
in your side bag. All right. That's your
Yeah,
turn.
I don't have a bonus action then.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't have one. Sorry.
Coming up next, Fenris.
Yeah.
Valerie, you're on deck.
Risk. So I see these three, and that's a bit problematic with what they can do. I am going to. I'm going to spend. Oh man, I really want to fireball them,
Worked
but I
pretty
know
good
that
last
that
time.
might just. It did do really well last time. Okay, I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points, and I'm gonna cast Darkness.
Okay.
Oh man. Fuck.
Yup. I'm just gonna,
There goes
Oh.
my friend.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
they're
gonna
not
cast
devils,
it.
right?
I'm invisible now.
No. I'm not casting it. Yeah, actually, I am casting it. I'm casting it on me. Darkness.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's out 20, right, from you?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. And you're
Something
using
like that.
Sorcery points, right?
Yeah, I'm going to quick cast it, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. So
Someone turned out the lights. Just
yeah.
and you can see through it.
I can see through it.
Yeah. Although Valerie can't.
And
Neither can
No,
Darth Vader,
sorry.
I don't think.
No.
Actually, can you see through magical? Because you're like special? Okay, cool.
No.
I wasn't sure. I didn't think so, but wasn't sure.
Nope. And so then I'm also going to cast with a cantrip. Chill touch on the wounded one.
Nice. Okay, make your roll.
So I guess the question is that if it's affected by darkness, is it an advantage or is it just straight roll?
It's basically blinded, so it's a advantage. Because you can see and it can. So, yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
22
Good.
hits.
22 hits.
Yeah, roll for damage.
Okay. Okay, rolling 3d8 necrotic.
Oh,
Ooh, terrible. 8 damage.
8 damage. Well,
Yeah, I'm not going to spend this.
it does claw at it a little bit, but it doesn't do a ton. It hurts it.
Yeah.
It does hurt it.
Yeah. And I'm just
Gently
gonna
caress his thigh in the dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's canon.
and I'm just kind of I'm basically going to I'm gonna end my turn.
All right, and you're basically trying to switch places with Bella. No, you hide by me. No, I hide behind you. All right, and I'm gonna press this button because I have this thing from Sirenscape. It's called the Fire Giant Fight. I have to try it. Nice. Okay, it didn't do that much, but anyway. Okay. So, coming up next, we're gonna go with Valerie. You are in pitch blackness. You can feel the heat of where the lava pool is, but you can't see it.
So, if I want to move out of this, how would that work?
Choose a direction.
Yeah, well, because you can fly, you'll probably not be too much at risk of, like, falling in the lava pool. And you can hear the giants kind of shoving and grunting just on the opposite side there. They're only about 15 feet away from you. So you knew where
if
they
I wanna-
were.
Okay. I want to move here.
You can fly in that direction and hope that you might hit some of the walls. You might hit them. So you want to fly in the direction towards the sound, but maybe just a little to the right of them.
That's right.
Okay, can I get you to roll?
You could probably follow the heat of the lava river, actually, which would be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, although it's a bit of sensory overload. So I'm going to get
Yeah,
you
that's
to roll
true.
a...
Yeah.
Can I get you to roll a perception or survival check?
Cool.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
That thing's pretty good.
Yeah, but not with that roll.
Yeah, not that roll.
With a 10. So, I'm going to roll a d8. Good old grenade scatter. I don't know if that's on this. I don't know if that's on this DM screen I have. Might not be.
I don't think. Oh! I see. That's a. Gotcha. Yes, that one might have.
All right. North is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you go forward and you hear this loud grunt in front of you, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to go too close to the." Ooh, plot point. A set of low-power enchanted goggles that allow for dark vision hits Valerie in the face. You know what? Just a sec. Absolutely, Alphen. Love the suggestion. Thank you. All right, so Valerie, you go flying forward, and then you hear the that you can hear of these giants, and you deke left, sure that a swing is inbound, and you go flying a little bit, and you hit a stone wall, and you can feel this incredible heat bubbling beneath you, and you can feel this wall in front of you, and then all of a sudden, the darkness kind of peels back, and you can see the stone wall just in front of you. You are just on the edge of the magical darkness, just down here, maybe 5 feet up, hovering above the lava, just flap of your wings. Thankfully, you didn't fall in lava because you can fly. And you've now used 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 of your movement, so you still have more. And you can now see as you're you're in a small outcropping just to the right.
Alright, so I'll move here then.
Nice. So you deke around the giant fight just kind of south of the anvil, where they're busy shoving, and one of the giants is completely enveloped in a wall of darkness, and the other two were busy trying to just trying to shove each other.
So this is where Valerie wishes that he was a bard to challenge these very smart fire giants to a riddle, but failing that,
by all means. Oh, and by the way, you do see on the side of the anvil that you're closest to, kind of draped over the end, a set of goggles that look really large, but they look nice, and they don't look like they've been crafted by a giant, but they look like they might actually fit one. Hanging off the end of this anvil, maybe 5 feet, just above you. In fact, I would even let you get that 5 feet because you still have some movement left if you want it. They are almost belt size on you right now.
I'll keep that in mind, but
like imagine seeing one of the WWE wrestling belts just dangling, but it's goggles.
Got it. All right, I'll keep that in mind. But Valerie goes and yells out a command, "Blinded by the light," and then uses Gem of Brightness. 30 foot.
Nice.
And they have to do a DC 15 Constitution.
All right. And what's the range on that? 30 feet?
It's a 30-foot cone.
Oh, you can get all of them.
Yep.
Would that disenchant the darkness? Isn't that usually how those spells work? No, the spells explicitly
usually
say it, so it would be the other way around. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Usually darkness overrides a level 1 light, but a higher level light will override a darkness. So, in a 30-foot cone, I'm going to assume with a DC 15, it's a higher level than the level 2 darkness. So I'm going to assume.
Well, what I was saying is that generally in the rules text it will say this spell dispels light or this spell dispels darkness. So unless the light cone says that, it probably should.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say
the darkness.
I'm going to say
because like darkness explicitly says if any of the spell area overlaps with an area of light spell created by a second level or lower, the light is dispelled. But that is a spell effect.
Yeah.
In this case, there's no mention in any of the commands that it dispels darkness.
So the darkness is still up then. So as you shine it on those two in front of you, you can't get the third one who is enveloped in the darkness. All right.
I agree with that ruling.
And so all of that is brilliant light, and they both fail their save with a 7 and a 6. Although it's con. So, sorry. One of them got a 14, and the other one got a 17. So 17 saved.
Oh, so the one that failed is blinded for a minute.
All right, that is the one at the back.
They make saves at the end of their turns. Or
Yeah, they can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn. So,
cool.
I'm just gonna give him the frowny face because he's he's a bit blind, but the other one isn't. Like partly enveloped in the darkness, kind of oddly protected him. He's like and ducks his head into the darkness. All right, you got one of them. Nice. And any other things?
Not right now. Thankfully, I still have a bonus action for anything that they try to do to me.
You can't spend a bonus on their turn, though.
No, but sorry, I can.
Oh,
Got it. Yeah, for a reaction. Anyways, yeah. I
All
don't
right.
have anything that would do anything in.
I would let you grab those goggles for a bonus.
All right, let's do it. I
Nice.
don't know what they do, but
Do a strength check for me.
That sounds like a bonus action, yeah.
strength check.
DC's not super
Alright.
high. Oh,
Is it higher than 3?
it is higher than 3. You go to pull them and you're like, those look pretty good. You grab it and try to fly away, and they're looped around the anvil on that end, and you go as the strap catches and holds you in place.
I like shiny.
Shiny. All right, coming up next, Henrietta.
Cool.
You just
I'm gonna
see
continue
that-
running.
You see that
please.
thing dive into the lava river and start swimming
Yeah,
away.
take a look. Like, all right, that's not what I was expecting, but that'll work. And I will continue up here until I see a window that lets me see what the heck's going on over here.
Sure, let's go to here and assume
Okay.
it's more or less open on that side. So
Right.
you can see the cone of darkness, the brilliant light. Does it stay on or does it just flash and then stop?
Good question.
I think it's just a flash, so that just sounds that kind of ability. But because of timing and stuff, I'm probably getting there just about as the flash is fading, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, it's a just blinding light. That's it from the 30 foot cone. So I would imagine it's just it's a one-time thing.
It's a one and done. All right.
Oh,
So you
Jesus
do know
Christ.
that happened.
Oh, man, my dog just farted in the room, man.
Oh, Constitution saving throw.
So this one next to me is clearly reeling. Am
Yeah.
I higher than them now, or am I?
Yeah,
still
you're a
at,
little
head
above them
level?
at this point. You're about 30, 35 feet up in the air. Not much
Cool,
above.
cool,
They're
cool, cool, cool.
almost. You're just ever so slightly above. You can see their red hair from the back.
Okay, I'm gonna
Just
try and basically
right next to
repeat
you.
what I did before. Because I can't really see what's going on with Armida from where I am, or Fenris. I mean, even if the darkness wasn't there, I couldn't, unfortunately. But with darkness, definitely not. But I can see the darkness, so then they're hidden in there somewhere. So I feel pretty good about them being okay. And I'm gonna try and message, message this one just as I had before, the one that's not blinded.
Right?
The one might
Okay.
be a little too confused to do it, and I'm just
what do
gonna
you say?
basically say the same stuff as before. If you want me to repeat it, I can, but otherwise,
Sure.
same sort of pitch, right? Like you're free. You don't need to do this. There's more of you than Bell. This is not what we want. This is not what you want. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's perfect. Make
Cool.
your persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay, yeah, they really are in combat, so that makes sense. Persuasion. That's 21.
Holy shit.
With disadvantage. And the
Good,
one that's
two
blinded
things.
grabs onto this one's like, hey, how's it going? Ninja Monkey Streamer Raid. Thanks very much. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. We are playing some Dungeons and Dragons. All right, back to the fight at hand. They're fighting fire giants in the pit of Bel, the archdevil. Why wouldn't you? All right. So,
Did anything happen?
yes, actually. This one who's being tugged on by the other blinded one kind of stops and starts yelling in giant at it, and they start shaking each other, and they start slapping the one that just its shoulders poking out of the darkness, and they start yelling. Now, you don't speak giant, do you?
I do not speak giant.
Okay.
I will remind you that a target of a message can have a reply, though, which maybe that's a
That's
thing.
fair.
Probably not, but they can. I just forgot about it until after.
Thank you, PP Cheese Squad. Appreciate it. We're doing good tonight, AG. And by the way, we do take viewer suggestions, so if you got some ideas, spend some plot points and we can make it part of the game. So, so what you hear in reply, and you understand it because it's because of the magic of the spell, and it replies back,
Cool.
We need our freedom, but it is too powerful. We are bound. Maybe we not kill, not eat.
and then it's out of words.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try to take that, but good.
All right, coming up next.
Yes, my turn.
Yeah, uncanny. Feel free to spend some plot points. Yeah. It's all about the suggestions there, Jordan. 20, 90, 10. Anyway, so at this point, there's a bit of a reprieve. The battle kind of quiets down for a few seconds. Only Fenris can tell. Darmida, it just gets quiet in the dark for a few seconds. It is now the giant's turn. The one giant that is messaging with Henrietta grabs the other blinded one, and they start pulling themselves back this way a little bit, and that one kind of they're having a heated discussion in giant that you cannot understand. Internet, I'm gonna need something that these two giants are telling each other in the middle of the fight. It can literally be anything, like, hey, you stole my girlfriend. I don't know. Internet, these two giants are having a conversation because the bard convinced them to try to do something other than murderate. This one, however, is committed, and he moves over to this spot right here and just feels around the base of that bridge that goes across the lava, and just wraps its massive film.
Hey, you stole my taquito salad bowl.
Is what one giant says to the other, and the other one replying's like,
Yeah, well, you're stupid.
they start arguing with each other rather than fighting, and that's because of the bard. Giant one, you stole my sweet roll. That was a rock.
I eat rocks. What? Rock or tasty?
Thanks, Yelpin. All right, so the giant that isn't kind of influenced by Henrietta grabs onto the bridge and just starts pulling, and you see the rock starts tearing, and he just begins to tear that bridge down, the little bridge over to you.
Interesting.
So that is now
Interesting choice.
a pretty big gap that he's now pulled a chunk out, and then he's got this stone in his hands, and he's in the darkness, and he's just gonna blindly whip it towards you. Let's see how this goes. This is with disadvantage. Oh, rolls a nat 1. Okay, he literally goes to throw it, and it goes backwards, like it just flings it behind it, pinging the one that is blinded, and it thinks that now that the one who said that was a rock, he thinks he just hit him, so he just punches his brother in the head.
We just see her put her like head in her hands, just like, this is not how I pictured this going.
And 21 plus 12, that's going to be 20, which does hit. So the one giant that's blinded is now punching the one that isn't, and is trying to convince them not to murder you guys. And it is a brawl with the giants over there.
Why you hit me?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Yaufin. All right, meanwhile, the other throw, because it gets multiple attacks, it's going to throw the other chunk of bridge in towards where those little puny sorcerers hiding, and rolls pretty good. 24. Fenris, does that hit your AC?
That hits my AC.
All right. And Darmida, can I get you to do a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage?
Okay.
So Fenris, you're taking 30 points of bludgeoning damage as a very large chunk of former bridge goes flying at you
Okay.
and just clips you on the way by.
Whew, that's 24.
24.
I think I had above max hit points.
Nice. Darmida, you hear Fenris cry out, and you flatten yourself against the wall, and you can feel the stone go pressing past you in the darkness, because they're enveloped in a globe of darkness. All right, so Fenris finally took some damage. That my goal as a DM is finished. You guys can finish now. Never get to
thank
hurt
you.
Fenris. It's always
You
got
gave the
shield.
sorcerer mithril armor in like episode 1. That's your fault.
It's true. Frickin' Bilbo.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next.
I guess you gave it to Hen, and Hen gave it to him because she's an idiot.
At this point, Bell looks around. He's been enjoying the fight and laughing at the stupid giants and kind of nodding, taking in what you guys are doing. And it can now see Darmida and sees you kind of peek around the corner and talk or look at the giant and then duck back. And Bell kind of narrows his eyes and then looks around.
Where's the other one? Get back here. And he extends one.
He extends one hand out like this, like all 5 fingers stretched out like he's grabbing something in the air, and then just pulls it towards him, and then waits a few seconds, and then there's this and there's this splash of lava from the lava river where this fire giant had managed to swim pretty much out of the chamber and gets flung directly through this wall, smashes through all these weapons and stuff, just get flung all around, taking out an entire full weapons rack of all these kinds of weapons, pretty much anything imaginable, hellfire forged longswords, all of that, comes slamming through the rock wall and is now hovering like maybe about 10 feet, 5-10 feet next to Bell, just as though like a cat, like you grabbed a cat by the scruff of the neck and are holding it up, and but this invisible hand, and Bell is just clutching his claws, this big pit fiend staring out at this even larger giant who just looks terrified. And Bell's like,
That was not part of the deal.
and then the giant's head just goes spins all the way around, and just the whole thing just hangs there, and then Bell just releases, and it just drops and hits the ground like a sack of like ugh, and the head's lolling at this weird angle, and it is just crumpled in the ground. There is now a new hole in the wall there. All right, now it's back to the top of the order. Darmida.
Okay. I'm going to close my eyes and go inward to my hunter's mark
Nice.
and train on my hunter's mark.
All right. Absolutely. You know where it is. You're just like, do a perception check. Normally you'd have advantage. You're at disadvantage. So let's just do a straight check. 21. You focus on his breathing.
And I'm gonna take 2 shots.
All right. Hey, thanks. Thanks very much, Uncanny Tree, and everybody else for the raid. Appreciate it very much. I understand you gotta move on, but thanks for the suggestions. We do this every Thursday and a couple of the times. So drop by anytime. We also do podcast version, so you can check out the back episodes. Thanks for coming, everybody. And if you're gonna stick around, cash in some more plot points. That was fun. All right, so Darmida, you know exactly where he is. 21 hits.
And then for the second.
14 sadly does not. Good news is you don't see it. Oh, but you have your thing.
I do.
Right.
I know
roll
if
again.
I hit.
Yep. You know you missed.
So that's a 24.
That hits.
I'm sad I don't get the piercing damage, but so that's a 14 plus.
He's pretty close. He's
fuck.
definitely. You can hear the labored breathing.
Fuck me.
Only 3 more, but still 17.
14, yeah.
Hold up.
17.
Hold up.
Hold on.
You're just in the dark. You're not even facing that way, and you focus on the breathing and let one go, let the next go, and you know it missed. You get the third shot, and in the darkness, you just see this massive giant's eye go, and an arrow strikes right in the eye, and you hear him gasp and drop to the hit point. Nice job. 160. Thump. That one falls. Its massive body, I'm actually not going to delete it, but its massive body is now kind of blocking your path. You executed him in the dark. That was pretty that's pretty rad. All
And
right.
I know Belle saw. And can I just yell out, "You've seen what we can do, stop this."
Well, I'll think about it.
Fenris, what do you want to do? You can see them.
So they've basically...
They're fighting each other right now.
I tell them... So I'm going to tell them to surrender and return to their service. They failed their test.
Nice.
They're no match for us.
Make either persuasion or deception. Your choice. How confident are you feeling?
Pretty confident. Persuasion.
There you go.
It's the same bonus for each one. Anyway, either of them. So, okay. $21.
Nice. As they're speaking in giant. You don't speak giant, right?
I don't speak giant.
What you see is the one who's blind is just like held by the scruff, and the other one who can see is like about to pound. It does give him a good shot, and looks at you or towards the darkness, then calls up at Belle and says something in giant. It's like what I did, and after a few seconds, Belle kind of hovers a little bit over, so you can see him in the background there, and he gets a little bit lower down, and he's sitting in his throne, and he looks over at all of you and just
Goes. Well, I suppose that'll do. You bested my giant. You befuddled their minds, puny though they are. You even
gonna
turned one
say
of
it's
them
not
against me, momentarily. Fine. I'll back your play. But we need to get something to make it work. And the rest of you Pathetic. Imbeciles. There's work to do. Get back to your forges.
And when he says that, the chains go around the neck of the two. Actually, all of them. The chains snake across and clamp onto their necks on these collars around their necks again, and begin tugging them back into place. Even the ones that are fallen. So this one gets pulled back up to this forge up here. This one gets drawn back to all the way back to the far corner. The body, crumpled with the arrow in its eye, gets and then dragged. The blood just kind of leaving a trail as it's dragged back to its forge and hefted upright, the head lolling around. The other one in the corner with the broken neck, same thing, gets dragged back to its. And then Bell... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Can I still try and grab those goggles?
Yeah. Go for it. Go do a strength check. Or acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
I would pick that too.
Fucking goggles.
Good. You shouldn't have been allowed to use acrobatics. That's bogus.
So, here's what happens. First of all, that's the giant that's dead. And it gets dragged back to its forge, over the forge, and its legs and arms just weekend at burning, right? And it drags over this thing. And as you're trying to pull the goggles off the end, the massive arm of the giant goes and then goes over one of your wings, pinning you between the dead giant and the anvil. You are restrained.
The
Porn goggles.
the darkness is gone.
Once everything goes back, I let
Sure.
it go.
I just
At that
erased the
point-
lines. Yeah. The tongues are still very much there.
Can I just nonchalantly walk over to the fire giant I killed and just start gathering up my arrows that are still intact?
You're going to need to make a leap to get across the chasm, because the bridge is still destroyed.
I'll activate my boots.
Nice. All right. You activate your. I think you did use them in the last fight.
Yeah, but they're a certain amount
No, I
of
didn't.
time.
Yeah, the last fight?
Or was
I
that
used
the day
them before that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. No problem.
I didn't use them because remember you told me
You
to be
used
in
them against the
action.
Remmerheads, and
Right.
you did, and they couldn't. You weren't in range of my stuff because you
Yeah.
flew away. But regardless,
Did
it doesn't use. It's not one use per 24
No, it can
hours.
last for 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say it's within 4 hours. Sure. So you fly over and you start just yanking out. You fly right up next to the head that's just kind of lolling on the chain, and the eye is open, and you just grab it. And it's just dripping with eye ichor.
I'll just wipe
want-
it off.
Wipe it on his
I want
beard.
him moving
That
up
is
further
hardcore.
to the next window up here.
Sure, you're now
It's
45
like what I
feet
would
up.
have been doing if my turn had happened.
Yeah.
So I can see Bell. These windows, I assume, are like arrow loops. Effectively, they're not like real windows that I can like jump out of or anything.
Well, some of them are quite wide, and some of them act as like a railing, an open railing. Others are there's no railing; it's just stair that if you go too close, you could fall over. So it really varies. At this point, it is this one has a slight lip, like about a foot up off the ground, but it is essentially a rough. It's not a window; it's like a rough hole in the stalagmite. And so you're looking out. You're actually eye level with Bell.
Yeah. I wish I was better with words, cause I got a lot on my mind.
All right.
Yeah, move on.
All right.
Name
So, Darmita's retrieved her arrows. Fenris, do you want to do anything?
I mean, so I, I just want to like key off what he said. He said that there was still something. Sorry, what did he say before? Like
He
people
said
were doing their thing.
there's something we need before I can help you.
Sure. And so in my mind, I say, "What do you need?"
Well, let's just say it would be very nice to have back something of mine the Zariel took. A spy of Zariel's, my former protege. And when she turned and took these, it was a great insult to me. And I want them back. I need adamantian rods. They were very useful here in my forge. I need 9 adamantian rods. If you bring that back, then I can help you. I can tell you of something that can defeat Zariel and free your precious Elturel.
9, you say. And this protege, former protege, and Sarnia, she has them?
She stole them and gave them as an offering of her allegiance to Zariel. Now,
Can I do an insight check on like what these rods are
Sure.
are for?
Yeah.
And so I know that he. Okay. See, I like writing things down, and when you said 9, that kind of. All right. Anyways, I'll do an insight check.
Yeah, do it.
Let me just see what my insight is. Okay. Let's see. Eh, 10. Don't really know if he's what his game is at, but okay.
It's
fine.
it's hard to tell. He is hard
Yeah.
to read, but he seems to be honest about this is a slight. This was
Okay.
he was insulted and wounded by both Sarnia's betrayal, but also these particular items. And so he's quite keen on getting these back. But, I mean, it's hard to tell beyond that.
Okay. All right. When I say then, all right, where is she? Do you know?
that's the thing. She offered them to Zariel in a difficult time. Zariel was still consolidating her power. And has since changed a few locations. So, could be at Zariel's new fortress, in her old fortress. She could have hidden them anywhere by now. Sarnia would know. So if you could get that from her, you would have my blessings. But, there is another who might know. You could speak to a Sybrix, a demonic, strange husk of a creature that goes around and it observes. They hoard forbidden knowledge. And there was one particularly close to where Sarnia met with Zariel. It might know. It also happens I know where it is. And it is being interrogated by Zariel's foot soldiers. if you were to get that information from it, then, well, hopefully it would know what became of the rods.
Is this like a? Are we in group chat? Like everyone else can hear this?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That I did not expect that. That changes a lot.
Yeah, I think so. Mostly for the sake of making it easier on me.
Since
Yeah.
when?
So Sybarix. So there's a Sybarix that he knows where it is. He doesn't know where Sarni is.
But the Sybrix would probably know.
Right.
Where these rods are. 9 rods.
I think this whole time, Henna's just been like staring livid at Bell through the opening, like just like quietly seething, like running through every scenario in her head. And I think we like actually see her hand like twitching next to the mace at her hip.
Nice.
Nice.
And at one awkward moment, Belle's busy kind of locking eyes with Fenris, and then it looks over at Henrietta and does an insight check and just smiles. As if to say, give me more. More of your precious hatred. That's me, the DM, though. That's just the impression.
Make a wisdom save.
It does? Or you
That's
do?
a 5. No,
What
I do.
happens?
I mean, technically it's a 9, which isn't the worst. I'm gonna start talking. It's so dumb, and I'm sorry, everybody here. I just like shout out like it's like, yeah, he's goading me, right? Like he is. Like, Bill, you were the worst monster that I've seen down here, and I know you're gonna take that as a compliment.
Why, thank you.
It's not. I get it. Everyone here has a motive. You're at war. War takes a lot. I understand that, but you did not have to do what you just did. No one made you do that.
What? The giants? Oh, I could do so much more. Watch.
No, I jump. I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna clock him in the head.
Nice. All right. Oh,
with a
waiting
weird
for this.
cursed mace that I don't know what does.
All right. I might have.
Can any of us react to this?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think you can. You're all just like,
What's my attack roll?
yep. You just
I'm just trying to free myself.
I have mace +1 cursed on my sheet. I guess that's probably it.
Yep. Go ahead and make that roll.
That whiffs real hard.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
And I have to like jump to do it because I'm in this doorway. Good. That's exactly what we need here.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
It's
something
probably
else
for the
happens.
best.
First
Thank
of all, so you leap and you land on the platform that Belle is on. As you swing and then land right next to him, just kind of half toppling off the side, and you grab a part of the throne to steady yourself, and and Belle just pulls his head back a little as the mace just whiffs right in front of his face.
Yeah.
At that point, first of all, Valerie, do a athletics or acrobatic check. And as you did this, Belle was like,
Whoa. I see there is some fight in you yet. But is there
15.
enough?
and okay, thank you. Valerie, your
check the roll.
goggles are now free. You have your goggles. And after you grab them for a few seconds, they start to shrink down to smaller size.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile,
It's a 4 on the die. Okay, cool.
does anybody else want to do anything? As you've just seen Henrietta take a swing at Belle.
So, do we like have turn action? Because I think I'm probably gonna do something.
It's going to be top of the order. Actually, that was
Okay.
Henrietta. Now it's Belle. Then I'll just keep the previous one. So that was
Sure thing,
Henrietta.
Darmida.
Then it's
Cool.
Belle. Then it's Darmida. So Belle.
Yep.
Can I attack again? That was my turn. I have 2 attacks.
Yep, you get 2 attacks. Go for it.
Cool. Ooh, not much better.
That's
16.
a 16, right?
Mhm. Yep.
That one hits, but it just causes his jaw to twist a little
Has a
bit.
low AC.
I
It
think
didn't actually
hits his
damage
armor
him.
as opposed to him dodging. Yeah.
Yeah. He just, and he's like,
And I'm lower now. I'm like have to attack the hamstrings, which is a shame. I'd rather get up.
oh no,
in
he's
his face,
sitting.
but I can't.
He's sitting in his chair
Oh,
though. So
Okay,
you're
that's fair.
you come up
yeah.
to almost shoulder, and
I'm
he's
pretty
kind of
big,
leaning
girl.
forward. At this point, you need to do a wisdom saving throw.
I would love nothing more than to get a 10 on that saving throw.
You are held as it's cast hold monster on you,
Nice.
and you're just like
Cool.
you lock up on the just
I believe that gives us a
first.
telepathic link. Is that correct? No, I'm thinking control. Sorry.
Mhm.
No, is that right? No, I'm thinking control. Command? Something like that. You know what I'm saying.
This one, yeah, it's literally the spell hold monster. All right, that is Belle's turn. Next up, Darmida.
I feel like Darmida would have seen Hen jump and do this, even though she's probably been kind of picking up her arrows
Yeah,
this
you were
whole
wiping
time.
it in the beard of the giant.
Yeah, I peppered it with quite a few, so I had a few to get back. But I feel like at this point, Darmida will step around to here.
You're still technically flying. You're also the closest
Oh,
one.
right. I'll step around to here, and I'm going to this is something like even Bella's shocked a little bit. As a player, I'm a little shocked. Didn't anticipate this.
No.
I feel like Darmida would just kind of be sitting there, literally going,
We can talk about it after.
and they're having a role reversal here for a hot second.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would do.
All right.
I would not react.
You get a little bit closer, and that's it. All right. Coming up
Yeah.
next, Fenris. Oh, sorry. At the end of Darmida's turn, Belle uses a legendary action.
I actually do have a question.
Yeah.
Because I believe someone goes before Bell, which are the giants. Do any of them react?
You're held, so you don't personally see what happens. But you do see, especially this one, that wasn't blinded, that you'd last messaged. You hear the clanking of chains as it's kind of peeking around, and it's stopped hammering, and it's peeking around that center stairway column, watching you take a swing at this thing, and it's just like,
Like, holy shit, she meant it.
yeah.
Right.
It sees, it's observing, and you hear the clanking of chain, but that's it for now.
Cool. Good. So I wanted. Thank you. Back to
Okay.
where you were.
Fenris.
Did you say legendary action?
Oh yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Legendary action. So Belle is going to do. Belle is going to snap his fingers, and on the platform next to him, this snowstorm, this 5 foot, or actually 10 foot localized snowstorm just to his left. Henrietta is paralyzed just to his right. And next to him comes this ice devil, because this tiny hole in reality to this incredibly cold place. And an ice devil steps through. Yes, master. And this, it's such a contrast in this room, the hot and the cold. The steam is just, it's causing a localized fog cloud. And Belle turns to it and says,
Do me a favor. Take out this trash.
and it gives a slight bow. That's it. It's now got an ice devil next to it. That's it for now, though. Okay, coming up next, Fenris.
Where's the ice devil's not next to Henrietta though, right?
It's not there yet. I'm trying to find some. I don't have an ice devil handy, but I have an itty bitty. I have an itty bitty. Pretend this bone devil is an ice devil,
Yeah.
and they're both up on that platform.
Ice Devil's large or medium? They're large, right?
I think they're large.
Yeah.
The platform is really not that big. It's like only kind of 5 foot radius around him.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little precarious.
Sorry, guys, I blasted right past the break. I did not expect Henrietta to take a swing at him. All right.
Oh boy.
What do you want to do, Fenris?
Just take a step closer to the edge. Hope you're in range. Just in range if I move.
You're going to have to move across that broken thing if it's 60 feet. It's 65 feet away from you.
65 feet away from me.
Well, technically, the Pythagoras would be even a little bit more. If you want to leap to get across that chasm, I need an athletics check. What do you want to do?
I am going to... Because, like, the athletics is going to be a straight roll, so probably not so good. Henrietta, you were just out of reach.
Are you going to do foolish? Or are you going to... What are you going to do?
Nope. No. I am going to bonus action Misty Step.
Nice. You can actually get pretty... 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
All right, where do you want to be?
Basically there.
Okay. So kind of
and,
just a little behind Darmida. She's hovering about 20 feet in the air.
Yeah. And
they're
then
up
with
about
my action.
35, 40 feet.
Oh, in the air, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to call out to Belle and say, in my mind, and say, you know, congratulations on provoking her. but we have use for her when it comes to finding the Sybarix and returning your rods. Shall we be off? Or is it really worth making a point that you've already gained on her?
Can't it be both?
And
No persuasion check?
go ahead and roll persuasion.
$24.
Whoa. Ooh. I'm gonna say that's insight then. 28. Bell kind of touches the spot on his chin where Henrietta clipped him with the mace. Didn't do any damage, but did clip.
I'll say this. She's brave. But he's smart. I suppose he'll need both.
And then in your head, you hear,
If we are to take out Zariel.
I nod my head at that.
and he snaps his fingers, and Henrietta's head spins 180 degrees, cracking her neck, and falls off the platform in a heap below.
I might come to like you. But there's business to be done. Get up, all of you. There's work to be done.
And at that, the head spins back around on the giant that was spun around, the bones snapping back into place, and with this reddish pulse of like energy, the giants gasp. The ones that he died, and the one whose eye is just ruined, he blinks, and there's still a hole in the eye, but it's brought back to life. And Henrietta, your head slowly reaches back around as this pit fiend archdevil brings you back to life. And you're laying on your back, a mortal that took a swing at Bell.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, he'll be back.
No worries.
Oh.
So,
I would say something. Yeah. Good.
So, Henrietta, you are back to life. Lying on your back, 40 feet beneath this, the ice devil leaps
Nice.
off,
I avoided
lands.
taking fall damage. Sweet.
Oh, you would have been, yeah. Well, you were already dead, but you're
I know.
aching, but you are alive. And
Yeah. I didn't expect no save or no damage roll. That's intense.
and it was essentially a coup de grace. You were held.
Oh yeah, totally. I was held.
I
I mean, we saw him do the same trick on a giant, which
Well,
has
there
more
were-
health than I do.
There was a reason for that one. That one involved the deal that it had made
Yeah,
with
figured.
Bell. You had no
That's
such
okay.
deal, but you were vulnerable, so that's why.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cool.
All right. So with that, Bell kind of floats a little higher up and looks at you all and says,
Well then, I guess you can do me this pittance of a favor.
and he's saying this out loud, and all the giants are kind of back to work.
You go talk to this Rex. Bring me what I want. And I will work to ensure that all of you get exactly what you need.
Did the one that like our party kill come back too?
Yeah.
Or just the one he killed?
No, all of them.
Cool, yeah.
He still has a hole, but
Yeah, he's got a
it's-
hole in his eye.
Yeah. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Henry's
Just like
on her
your
and
back
she, like,
hurts.
looks over, sees them, looks up at Belle. I think she has a small smile. That's not a reaction that she expected. Not the dying, the bringing people back part.
Mm.
It's good in there.
All right.
Somewhere.
And you all look back, and the stones from that little pathway that the giant destroyed are busy going, reassembling back into place into this thing, and that black ooze comes bubbling up out of the plain ground that you had. Nobody looked, but it had disappeared, so it comes bubbling back up again. And Belle, as you guys regather together on your way back out, Belle says,
Wait. We do need to make this official. You. Lay down.
and he's in the one giant, the first one that you hunter marked. Actually, technically, it's still hunter marked. Leans over the anvil, and this one of the swords flies off the wall behind, and goes hovering over this giant's back and begins carving these words into the giant's bare back. And it's drawing up a contract.
Oh.
And it's in Infernal. Anyone who can read Infernal can read these large bloody words that are being etched on this giant.
What's it say?
It
Think
says,
me and
go ahead and roll let's say a perception, and let's say perception check. Or insight. Anybody can.
I
Who can
will.
read Infernal.
You want to help me, Darmita?
I think
That's
I'm
a
over
one.
my
20.
Oh.
Yeah.
It would help.
All
I'm
right, you
over
have
my
advantage.
shock.
I can hear me.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah, sorry, Carl.
Can you hear us?
We can hear you, Carl.
Poor Carl.
Yeah, he had this problem the other day.
Discord does not
thank
love
you.
I think we're
Thank
about
you,
to wrap up.
Darmita.
So,
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
26 nat 20.
Oh, all right. So, there's a couple things that happen here, and you see this infernal contract being written up between your party and Belle, which the bulk of it says, "Bring me the 9 rods." Or what he says is, find these 9 rods. Find these 9 rods.
Adamantian robs?
Adamantian rods, and I will assist you in the overthrow of Zariel. And then it goes on at length, and it's quite convoluted in places. And one of the clauses catches your eye. It's almost like lawyer type speak, and one of the clauses says, after speaking with the Cerebrix, use... Oh, hey, Carl. I can hear you.
yeah, that was never the problem. He couldn't hear us.
Poor Carl.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he'll have to watch it a replay like everybody else. I'm going to server deafen him, and then server undeafen him.
What's that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Carl. No?
No.
No joy.
I don't
Let's just wrap up.
All
Let's just wrap up.
So, in the contract, it says you're to find out where these adamantian rods are, and you do catch a clause that you can make adjustments. Now is the time, but essentially, it says bring me the rods, but you could change that to find the rods. That would be the distinction that is different that you could insert in here pretty quickly and easily.
Yeah. Okay.
It also
So-
says that failure voids the contract and any promises. And he does try to make a play for your soul that any action, direct action against Bell, will be done at forfeit of your soul. And you, Fenris, spot the opportunity to make an adjustment there if you wish.
To change it from bring him the rods to find the rods?
You can change it to that.
And what do we get in return? That's I think there was like a lawyer clause you were saying.
Well, there's
Yeah, what
two
do we
things
get?
in there. Number one, it catches your attention that only one of you has acted directly against Bell. And there's no time distinction here. So if you leave it as it is, a direct action against Bell will have resulted in the loss of Henrietta's soul. But you could say, insert the word, you could change it somehow, if you wish. But you spot that distinction.
Okay. And sorry, all I got out of this contract with the lawyering words is bring him the rods. If we act directly against him, and it could be past tense, you forfeit your soul. But what do we get?
That's a good question. And he's intentionally vague. There is kind of standard devil's clauses here. And if you wish, you can kind of pick from a few devil's bargains.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
you'd be agreeing to a service of finding these rods or bringing them to him. But if you wanted to switch it, you could insert that. And with your nat 20, I think you could change that just subtly so that
Are you
he might not
saying
even
like modify the document or like actually hash out a contract, like talk to him?
know. Well, if whatever's in the document stands. So if you change the document, and a quick little mage hand ought to do that.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that with my mage hand. I will do a couple things. One, I'll change it from bring him to bring the rods to him to just find the rods. Two, when it comes to direct action against Bell, I would change that as well to because right now it's direct action and it could be past tense is what you're saying,
Yeah.
right? So I would I would change it to well into the future. And of course once the contract is done, this contract is done.
Okay. All right. So, and like any further action.
Yeah, I would actually say like, yeah, any further action in yeah, and then when the contract is done, this is done. Like you could act directly against him, right?
Okay. Yep. Now, what you can get
Yeah.
are you can kind of get your choice. There's the standard devil contract, so you can offer any or all of the following: 50,000 gold, art, gems, coins, a rare, very rare, or uncommon magic item of your choice, a valuable piece of information that cannot be acquired by other means, which may be determined later, a single task that the Archdevil or one of its minions can complete within 9 days, a supernatural charm, which could be something like agelessness,
I mean,
so you don't age naturally, diabolical, you could basically become a tiefling. Those are two separate things. You could have a horned devil be your servant for 9 days. You could understand all languages. You could have 9 charges to gain temporary hit points. you'd gain 30 temporary hit points for spending 1 charge.
Okay. So
There's a
rather
couple
than
other,
kind
but
of
that's about it.
yeah, maybe what we do is we handle this like the actual boon that we get offline.
Sure.
Do we each get a boon or just one of us?
Let's say each. You each get a choice. You're all part of
Okay.
this contract.
So the ceiling of this contract, right? We're seeing him write it up.
Mhm.
Like he can just write stuff, right? Like we'd have to like sign it or something, or
You'd have
agree
to-
to it
you'd
in
have to
some
sign
way. 'Cause,
And then
like,
it will be etched and sealed.
The contract will be etched and sealed.
And it looks at Henrietta and says,
This vessel, giant, will be kept in a safe place, unharmed. Unable to be harmed, actually, by anyone but us.
oddly enough, the giant with the hole in his eye kind of seems relieved by that.
Okay, I mean, I'll take that.
It's kind of like he gets to go chill in a room instead of being an enslaved puppet of Bell.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's not gonna just like starve there or something.
No.
It's like, oh, well, he didn't harm him. He just starved.
It
Oops.
literally cannot be harmed.
Cool.
Okay.
That's something, I guess.
It
I
doesn't
was
need to
picturing the
sleep,
scene where we were all sort of like
eat,
leaving,
drink.
and
Or anything.
Henrietta like walks by sort of last because she's kind of slow, and like as she passes by this giant, like rests a hand on them and sends some healing magic into them just to relieve the pain as
This is the one that got
Keep
shot in
going.
the eye?
Yeah, the one that the contract's on. But
Okay.
like we're gonna have to actually like rehash this contract
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
you know, if we're
So-
like
You
I haven't signed
place
anything.
hands on and the
you know.
eye glazes over in this white. So it's got one sort of milky eye, but it's no longer seeping.
Right. I mean, I was mostly thinking about his back, but sure, that too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we probably should talk about it, like...
So I'll let you guys
in
pick
Discord, because that
which
makes
of
sense.
these things you want. And we can go over them in detail later if you want. But
I mean, like, we've talked narratively about what we want, and it's not a bunch of mechanical goo-gaws from the module, right? Like, this is...
Mhm. But if you
that's
wanted
not
some
what we're here for.
treasure, if you don't get it very often. So if you wanted any of those
That's
boons,
true.
oh, and I forgot to mention, and somewhere in those clauses, Fenris, you spot this. One of the other things you could have happen is you could gain the benefit of a wish spell. Each of you gets to choose one of these things if you sign the contract. Just
Well, I thought the thing we're getting is, like, Bell's assistance in this whole rigmarole that we're doing.
This
right?
would be the way he is helping. Now, you could ask him as part of the task, or one of his minions, to complete a task of go and beat on Zariel. Like, there's some options. And as you said, you can think about what you want to ask of Bell later.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of
Yeah.
say narratively that you think of it now, but we'll determine
Yeah.
what that is next time
Sure, yeah.
on Morally Ambiguous's Descent into Avernus.
So who's signing? Because I spot these things, I'm like, yeah, okay.
So you can
I,
modify.
mean, I think in character we're going to be having a conversation, right? Like,
Hmm?
that's
I
what
don't think
would think.
I don't think he's just going to sit here while we have a conversation and he can listen in.
I
on
mean,
this,
he
right?
should be part of the conversation. It's a contract. Like, I don't understand this.
Sure, we can
That was
hash
weird.
it out now. I got a little time.
No, I don't think we
Okay.
should do it now. I think that.
Oh
there's
no
gonna
no
be a lot of
no!
conversation.
I don't.
Yeah, no, we should have stopped. 13
One, I
minutes
need a
ago.
break, and
Yeah.
two,
Fair enough.
Okay, yeah.
beyond
Alright.
me needing a break, I gotta get those dogs
But
outside.
like, yeah, Henry
The
is gonna
offer is there if you want to
comprehend
take it.
language and like go over it and such.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll
At
pick
the
this
very
back
least,
up.
and you can basically sign your own. Actually, oh, I love it. No. Here it is. Each of the giants gets etched, and
Oh,
each
boy.
of them is one for each of you. So if you want to make modifications to your particular deal, or just be like, you're just going to stay out of our way, I will leave that up to you. So all 4 of these
Did not
giants
come here for them
will be sent
stay
to
out of our
pasture.
way.
And they all look
Okay,
kind of
I mean-
relieved by that.
Yeah,
Actually.
wanting it is. That's okay. Cool. I'm okay with that.
All right. So we'll work out the details of that next time when we come back. Thanks very much, everybody. All right, Internet. My name is Todd, and these have been my friends, and we all play some Dungeons and Dragons. Thanks very much. Don't forget you can tune in live on Thursdays. Otherwise, catch us on replay, YouTube and VODs and podcasts and so forth. And thanks very much for the suggestions and the raids. Thanks for joining us, Uncanny Tree, Yauf, and Crook Irish. What are some of the other names? Jordan.
B. Hi, B.
Yep, B. Thanks, B, and AG92, and all the raid for the Ninja Monkey streamers. Thanks very much, and we look forward to playing again soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in a week. Bye, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Where's-
night.
Where's that button? All right, there we go. Listening to SideQuest Live.
I
Thanks so much
see
for
what you're
tuning in.
doing.
We try to record all of our games as much as possible, whether that's Dungeons and Dragons or Shadowrun or another tabletop role-playing game. Just a quick side note about all the licenses and copyrights involved. Our music is all Creative Commons attribution music on our live stream video feed or YouTube replay or Twitch VOD. We always attribute each individual artist, so be sure to check out those individual artist attributions. Lots of love to so many people who make their work available so that we can do what we do. So thank you. It influences our game. It makes it immeasurably better. So much appreciation for them. Let's not forget the makers of the games. Dungeons and Dragons is copywritten by Wizards of the Coast. They own it. They make it available to all of us to play, and it's wonderful. We are in no way affiliated with them, and nor do they endorse this podcast, but we are very appreciative. The other game we often play is Shadowrun, which is Catalyst Games. And again, we are not affiliated with them, and they do not endorse us, but we really appreciate their game, and we hope you appreciate our game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube, and watch for those live games once we're streaming them out. And of course, we do accept suggestions for names, so please hit us up on Instagram and name our stuff. All right, thanks so much. I'm Todd, and this has been SideQuest Live. We'll see you again soon.